Hello everybody, welcome to Stockholm in Sweden. I'm here for a little holiday with my husband. We are here just for the Easter holidays, and of course I'm doing some yarn shopping while I'm here. I actually already ended up going to one yesterday. This was the first day. We were in the old town area of Stockholm, and I stumbled upon this little shop called Makery 14, which was really good, and I did end up getting one little thing. I just couldn't resist this Angora. I have been wanting to try this Fonte Angora for a long time. I've seen quite a few people online post about it, and just look how fluffy it is. I only got one ball because it was a little bit pricey, but I just couldn't resist this pink colour. I've actually never knit anything in pink, and I do really like pink and I wear quite a lot of it. That was just a little taster of a yarn store. Today we're doing a proper tour of quite a few different ones. We're staying in Norrmalm, so we're going to go to Litet Nystan this morning, and then this afternoon we're going to go north. Unfortunately, it looks like quite a lot of them are shut because it is the Easter weekend, so I think some of the ones I would have maybe wanted to go to as well are shut, but I'm going to try and go to as many that appear to be open on Google Maps. So yeah, I'm going to bring you along and let's go check out some yarn stores. I'm very excited. Litet Nystan, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong, is in Norrmalm in Stockholm, and it's a really big yarn shop. There are so many brands here that I recognise, like Istiga, Sadness Garn, Cardiff Cashmere. They had a giant wall of knitting for Olive mohair, which I was obsessed with. I've never seen so much knitting for Olive in one place before. They had Lang yarns, they had Phil Kalana. Pretty much any Nordic brand that you can think of was in there, and it was great to just look around and feel everything. However, I was a little bit overwhelmed when I was in there because there was just so much that I loved, but I didn't really have a strong plan, so I actually ended up only getting one skein of sock yarn, but that's fine. It was still just really nice to go in there and experience all the different yarns, and gave me some ideas of things I might want to do for projects in the future. Then next up we got the train up to Norrmalm, which is north of where we were staying, and we went to Clara Tig and Garn, which was a really cute small little shop. It had a lot of interesting yarns, a lot that I hadn't actually seen before, and then it had a lot of typical brands like Sadness Garn. There's a lot of pig in there, and some interesting yarns like 100% linen yarns that I'd not seen before, and a few 100% silk yarns, and a lot of compositions that I hadn't necessarily ever experienced before. And there was a lot of Noro in there as well, which I was very tempted by, but it's a little bit pricey, so I decided to leave the Noro behind. But this was a great little shop. I would definitely recommend if you're looking for something a little bit unique, maybe something that you've not seen before. Because it was Easter when we were there, a lot of the shops I wanted to go to only opened the day that we left, and there was one that I really wanted to go to, which was Fingerborg. Every single yarn in here is hand dyed by Katrine, who owns the shop, and it is such an amazing little shop. They have so many different varieties of yarns and also a lot of amazing sock yarn. I really enjoyed having a look around here, and I did end up getting something. Hello, I am back home now. It's been a few days since we got back and I've had a haircut, thank God. Does anyone else get through winter and just not get a haircut, and then it gets to spring and you're like, what is going on with your hair? Anyway, I'm feeling good because I've just got my hair cut. Thought I'd do a little haul of everything that I got in Stockholm. You saw my little Fonte purchase at the beginning of the trip. I'm not 100% sure what to do with this. I'm thinking maybe a Sophie scarf, because are you even a knitter if you haven't done a Sophie scarf? And I haven't done one yet. But if you have any ideas of what I could knit with this single ball, it is 108 meters, so it's very, very small amount of yarn. If you have any ideas of what I could do with it, I want some kind of like accessory, something fun, because it's so soft, something probably like some kind of scarf, or I don't know if it's enough for gloves, probably not, but let me know if you have any ideas, because this is just the cutest yarn. I am obsessed with it. So then in Litet Nystan, I ended up getting this sock yarn. I don't know what's going on. I've just got some really bright colours in what I've been buying. I really like the idea of having a pop of red for socks. So this is Filcolana Arvetta. This is 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. I've heard good things about this yarn. To be honest, don't know much about it, but I've just heard that it's a nice one for socks. So I would really like to knit just like quite a plain, bright, maybe ribbed pair of socks with this. I want to get onto the sock hype this year. I have been meaning to finish a second sock of my petal drop socks for a little while. I did actually make some progress on that when I was on holiday. So I'm quite hyped to finish those and get on to maybe a slightly simpler pair of socks with this red yarn, because I think the colour kind of speaks for itself. And then this was my favourite shop, I think, of all the ones I went to. Fingerborg, I'm not quite sure how to say it. It means thimble in Swedish. And I actually went in there with a plan. It was the one shop that I actually thought about, because we had a few days where it was Easter and a lot of the shops were shut. And so during that time I was thinking, what do I actually want? And I think I probably needed to go into the other shops with a plan as well, which I didn't. So definitely a top tip, I think, if you're going yarn shopping. I mean, it's kind of obvious, but I think it helps to at least have some idea of what you want to buy and what you want to knit with it. So the main thing I got was this 100% Cormo wool, which is really, really soft. It honestly feels like merino, but it is Cormo. After a very quick Google, I've discovered that Cormo wool is actually derived from a cross between Corriedale and merino sheep, which explains why it feels so soft like merino, but also it's really, really bouncy. So I think this might be one of my new favourite wools. It feels very similar to merino yarns that I have felt before. It is really soft and really nice. And it's this really beautiful heathered grey colour, which I am just obsessed with. And with this, I want to knit the Roma vest by Mochi Knits. I have been wanting to knit something by Mochi Knits for a long time. I've heard really good things about her patterns. And now that spring is here, I've been kind of not really that keen on knitting another jumper right this second, just because the weather is getting nice and I want to be able to knit things that I'll actually be able to wear as we're heading into spring and summer. So I feel like a knitted vest is the perfect sort of middle ground. It's like kind of a cardigan vest, but I think it would just be the perfect thing to wear with a t-shirt underneath, which I like to do. And I've only ever knitted one vest, so I feel like I need another one in my wardrobe. And I feel like a one with a button band is just a bit more versatile and you can wear it in a few more different ways. The other reason I bought this grey colour specifically is that I've had this Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in the shade Pearl Grey sitting around for a while. I think I bought it to go with a different project, and I think the colour that I originally wanted, I wanted to do like a mild thing with some purple yarn, and it just it wasn't working when I swatched it. So then I just had this random yarn sitting around for ages that I didn't know what to do with. And I just feel like this is going to make such a nice fabric. So I'm very excited to swatch this up and actually see, because obviously they're not completely similar, but I feel like together, especially because this yarn is quite heathered and sort of hand dyed, I think it's going to make quite a nice fabric. So I'm excited to swatch these up and see what they look like. And I think that is going to be, I think I'm going to hold this double. As far as I can tell, I think the Mochi knit vest is held double. There is a chance that I might not actually need this mohair. We will see. I think I need to do a bit of swatching to figure out the exact correct gauge and swatch and everything for that. But yeah, I'm very excited to have that. I just think this colour as well is just going to go so well into my wardrobe. I do wear a lot of grey. I try to add a lot of colour into my wardrobe as well, but if I'm honest with myself, I love just like a white t-shirt and a grey cardigan. So I think this is going to be something I'm going to wear a lot of. And the final thing I got, which is a bit of a wild card and probably a colour that is slightly out of my comfort zone, but it was in the 20% discount bin and I just had to get it. It was just like calling to me for some reason. And this is 100% Corridale fingering, 400 meters. And it's in the colour Bonbon and it's just so cute. I love it. It's like quite a solid pink colour and I just think it would make a really nice either a hat. I want to do the Musselburgh because I've knit the Musselburgh for my husband and I'm quite jealous of his hat. He always wears it and I'm just like, I want one for myself. So I think I might do a Musselburgh in this or potentially a scarf. I'm not 100% sure yet. Either a hat or a scarf. And I think maybe I might hold it with a lighter coloured mohair potentially to maybe just tone the pink down slightly. As I said, it's a bit out of my comfort zone, so I'm wondering if maybe holding it with a slightly lighter pink might just slightly tone it down a bit. But yeah, this is definitely a bit of a wacky purchase. It's one of those things when you're in the yarn shop and you're just like, I want that now, without too much thought as to whether it's going to work in your wardrobe. But anyway, we will see. I think it's fun, and with this red yarn, I've definitely been pushing out of my colour comfort zone. I feel like this is usually the colour comfort zone that I'm in, and then I've gone a little bit wacky with these two. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm feeling very inspired and excited with all these yarns. I can't wait to wind them up and get going with some of them. So yeah, that is everything that I got in Stockholm. Hopefully that was helpful if you are planning on a trip to Stockholm or if you've just been wondering what the yarn shops in Stockholm are like. Thank you so much for watching. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Apparently 70% of people that watch my videos are not subscribed, so I would really appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe button. It would really help me out. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!